Testing, 1, 2, 3. Diddle-a-did-did-did. Bit of coffee. Alien 3, The Gun, first walked into my life in 1993. The film had been out 1 year, I was 13 years old, completely broke, not allowed into the arcade. All I could do was lustfully stare at that intro, which was pretty damn epic, to be fair. Yeah, that's not actually my real voice. I did get into the arcade eventually. I could actually hold the guns. Now, this was a twin shooter. This was two people standing at the arcade with two mounted guns. Fair enough, the game was on rails. The way that engine worked and some of that art being directly lifted from the film, it was an absolute showstopper in the arcade, nothing short. The people who made it must have seen Alien 3 and thought, how the hell are we going to do this? Well, we're just going to shove 15,000 aliens into it and put it all in corridors. Sevastopol even gets a mention. And back then, arcade machines, they would do the dirty on you, so they'd let you get to maybe the first boss or the front end of level 2, then they'd come in with these unavoidable, ridiculously tough sections to make you lose your money and start again. Why are we having to listen to this, bro? I want to see Aliens Fireteam Elite on 9th Gen, not sit here listening to your goddamn twisted childhood. Well, it was one of the few games that actually hit the mark for me. Alien 3 also came out as a side-scroller on the Mega Drive and Sega Genesis. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't a gun game. Aliens 3, the gun game, had more in common with Aliens Fireteam Elite than they did with Alien 3. That's the reason for that segment.
To win, a species must endure, reproduce, survive.
My second visit to Fireteam Elite. I bought it on Steam, very close to its release date. I have it over on PC and I loved the game to bits. I went straight through that single player campaign using the AI bots and put out quite a lot of late game content. I will link, I went into the Hive, there's the Prometheus Juggernaut in this game. It's pretty rich with its location and lore. 4K and 60 frames per second apparently. I was running it at 1080 on the PC but had it on Ultra. This game is billed as a 4-player co-op online experience with a lot of builds having differences, and it's trying to create that sort of class synergy, which it kind of manages. When you go over to the single player, a lot of reviewers will say that they didn't get on with it, it's not that great a single player shooter. I think there's been quite a few patches on that AI behavior and it actually does hold together as quite a good single player campaign. If I can manage to get through it on normal difficulty, then it can't be that difficult. There's also the Pathogen Update DLC, which I thought was free but you could only access once you finish that main campaign. It is not, it is paid and I haven't looked at it yet. The experience within that single player campaign on base game is enough. It's pretty amazing, and that brings me over to the cost of the game. Managed to find this physical pre-owned for £12. I think that's less, if not the same, as that Pathogen update. I am also leaning towards a smart gun build this time around. On my original playthrough, it was all about that pulse rifle. I wanted to hear that noise, and yeah, you can put muzzle brakes on and slightly adjust the cosmetics. The smart gun's got an auto aim on it, so you really don't have much to do. You just have to point in the right direction and pull the trigger. However, ammunition is not abundant for it, and you have to switch to your shotgun if you want to deal with something that's very close up. It's kind of quite a cool combo. Depending on what class you choose, you have a different special on L1 or R1, and the Demolition guy has got an awesome railgun, like one shot. It takes a while to build, but it's very devastating and extremely handy for those big alpha runners. One thing to watch out for with console versions of PC games, or vice versa, is whether they've got those settings on Ultra within the console port. Is it on high textures? Have you got reflections full on? On the PC you are in control of that. With this it's like a locked deal, and it's quite difficult for me to see what's changed or what's different, which is kind of a good sign. It's not a big graphical shock like some games, Assassin's Creeds, are on console over from that PC. how does it play against other third-person ARPG shooters that are out at the moment? Because this game's got a couple of years on it now, and it actually holds up very well. I've just reviewed Space Marine 2, which is this game turned up to 11. So if you want to have a look at more Octane, more Xeno, bigger guns, I will put the link and annotate that review. It is one hell of a game. But it's not an Aliens game. You can't put a price on seeing the dropship, hearing all the one-liners, looking at that armor, using some of the infamous shotguns from the films, and even that smart gun and pulse rifle are pretty damned awesome. There is a dodge roll on circle. I default to X on it. There's a bit of muscle memory left over there from Remnant, I think. The window's massive for it. It's kind of a little bit OP. It does get you out the way of loads of stuff. But the only real attacks you've got to worry about are from the spitters or the larger aliens, and that brings me on to the specials or the different variants on what you're fighting. It does very well on giving you the good grunt lower level stuff, but then it pushes in, as mentioned, these alphas, spitters. There's even prowler aliens that are scarlet, that hide behind corners and jump on you and scare the absolute crap out of everyone on team. And you do have the obligatory face huggers. They come out full on from the egg, jump at you, very difficult to fire, and in the previous reviews I've got footage of the AI prying one of them off my head. Xenos! The smart gun class does evolve to a flamethrower option. I'm not too sure how comfortable I am with it. The range is a bit weird to work out, and I think I may be sticking with that traditional model and just bolting on loads of stuff to that base smart gun. We are seeing some nice reflections here, and I will say this game has not dropped a single frame, and some of these scenes will have 30 plus aliens running around on the ceilings and explosions. It's amazing on the performance front. Then again, so was it over on the PC. And if we look at the landscape now on the Aliens video game section, we've kind of got three really good pillars. We've got suspense with Alien Isolation, we've got this with hardcore arcade third-person action, and then we've got the thinking man's tactical with Descent. All three of those games are very good. Are you going to talk about Colonial? No. I will mention though, thank you and hello to new people who have come to me via the Alien Romulus film review. That video managed actually to do okay, which has blown my mind a little bit, and brilliant feedback and all of the comments. So as promised, I wanted to show everybody Aliens Fireteam Elite, because this is your top-notch, current gen, loads of aliens on screen shooter. I've also forgotten to mention that this game does have an AI director of sorts. It will pump in different alien squads and put those prowlers in different sections. There's also no continue mid-level, so if you don't make that finale fight, you don't make that level. At later points in the game, the aliens are almost constantly coming at you. There is no downtime, no bit of peace. To get any decent footage of the interior of that hive or that juggernaut took me absolutely ages. Everything had to be cleared, I had to wait for another wave. It was really tough just to scrape together like 30 seconds. Someone in the comments, poor showcase, low effort, do better, more detail on the rooms. Yeah, I reckon that was Randy Pritchford as well. So Fireteam is worth a look, especially for £12. I was of course Couch Coop, and I will see you all down there. Hello Couch Coop Services, how can I help you? This is Marjorie speaking. Couch Coop must reign supreme. I've gone Yoda. How is my egg-like head ever going to pull in the numbers that a yoga woman does?